Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We just watched the Moon Knight finale, episode 6. I'm here with JT from East Coast Avengers, or the Kang Review on YouTube.
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh, I am trying to, kind of soak up everything that we just saw. We'll talk about it, but yeah, it was a finale.
I liked it. I think, let's just go. What were your first initial reactions to it?
I thought we found out later in the week at the end of episode 5 that this episode was going to be about 42 minutes, give or take, extra credit scenes and the credits or whatnot. And so 42 to 45 minutes. And I said, for a finale, that's a little short. Because the rest of the episodes have been like 50 to 55 minutes, close to an hour.
I think Loki was short, right?
Yeah, Loki felt a little short too. And I think that's my only con for this episode, was the length. Like it could have been a good hour. Like I would have been very satisfied at an hour for this show. I don't know. Do you want to talk about spoilers on here?
Yeah. By the way, this is gonna be all spoilers. So turn it off now if you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's keep going.
Yeah. Go watch it and then come back to this, and you can comment your thoughts on the video and let us know what you think of episode 6. But personally, I loved it. I thought they did a phenomenal job. It started off a little slow. And I was like, okay, when is it going to pick up? But right when it picked up, it was, full force the entire way, all the way up until the end credit scene, which there is one. So make sure you stay for that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that at the very end. Overall, I thought the episode was good. I think it could have used 10 to 15 more minutes.
Right.
The only reason I say that is because it does move a little fast, and I know, and I was a big advocate of there's not much left in the plot. Like, we just have to stop Harrow. I kind of wish it was more focused on Harrow and less of Amit.
Mm-hmm.
I think Amit was cool, and I actually liked when they fought inside the Pyramid of Giza in the other void.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if we needed their Kong versus Godzilla type of battle, which look, I do love it though, because it's very comic booky. And I think in the modern day, we're used to seeing Marvel kind of, for example, Taskmaster is a tech assassin. Everything's modernized,
right?
But this went straight comic book, and so for some people you'll love it.
Yes.
Some people you won't like it. I thought it was cool.
Right.
Not amazing, but I thought it was cool that part.
Yeah. When they got out of the Pyramid of Giza, they kind of just got gigantic and just started fighting. And I thought that was just, I didn't have a problem with it. I was like, okay, that's cool. It is what it is. Two gods are fighting, just in the middle.
Monsterverse meets MCU.
Yeah, exactly. They're just fighting in the middle of the streets, poor Cairo. They're just chilling, just vibing. And then all of a sudden they get two gods just fighting each other. Honestly, they stuck with the heartfelt ending of episode 5, and you get that at the very beginning, when Mark is like, nope, I gotta go save Steven, and I gotta make us one again, and which I thought that was really cool. It was really nice to kind of see like the whole progression of from episode 1, where it was just Steven, and then you get Mark, and then it's like Mark and Steven are fighting to control the body, and now they're one. That's a really nice image, I thought, of them in the duat, and they're like, holding hands, or they're not holding hands, but they have their hands like this, and in the middle is their heart, their one heart. Very nice cinematography there. But everything else was May Calamaway.
Yes.
She is brilliant. I love her. When we watched, because you and I got the chance to watch the first 4 episodes, early, and I knew right off the bat she was going to be everyone's favorite. Like I knew that I didn't know it was going to be this far. Like, I didn't know she was going to be the first Egyptian superhero that we get in the MCU, which is badass, by the way.
I'm hype it happened. I called it. After when we were watching, me and Colin were watching it, and episode 4, I think, is when they start, or episode 3 is when they introduce, like, oh, Mark might have killed your father. Episode 4, they bring it back, pay it off. At that point, I started looking, because I'll be honest, I wasn't familiar with that part of the comics.
Right.
Looked it up. Scarlet Scarab, the way they modernized and changed it, I was like, oh, this is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen this episode. I'll be honest. I thought it was going to be like a post credit. But it was really cool. Yeah, she did a great job. Probably one of my new favorite female characters for sure.
Absolutely. I think another thing that I really enjoyed about this episode was you can really tell that Oscar Isaac just went like full on, like, I'm gonna act my ass off in this episode, and the way that he was switching back and forth, like just on command, was awesome.
I love when they finally come together, which I think might be confusing for some people. I already talked to somebody and they're like, how did Mr. Knight gain all those fighting abilities? And it's kind of something you have to read the comics to fully understand. The idea is like, yeah, they are separate identities, alters, personalities, however you want to define it, but they're still one person. They're all Moon Knight. Right. So Khonshu, without Khonshu or not, they're all Moon Knight, and that's kind of the idea of the ending, basically, and how they,
And he even mentioned that in episode 5. He even said, like, when they're fighting the sand people or whatever on the boat, he was like, well, if you can do it, then I can. So he's kind of like realizing, like, oh, we're one, meaning we can. If you can fight good, then I can fight good. So, like, that makes sense.
In episode 4 too, he says, same body, right? Like, if you've done this, I've done this before too. It's kind of all they've been teasing it the whole show. It's kind of like a full circle event at that point. I think for some people you might have to rewatch this, or maybe the finale, maybe the whole thing. But for me, I'm a fan. I think Moon Knight is. I don't know where would you rank it?
It's number 1 for me. It's number 1 for me, and I've had it as number 1 since I saw the first 4 episodes. Like, it hasn't changed. I think it delivers on everything that I wanted from a new character, because they really had to put in the origin story of Moon Knight and the characters that he had and the different personalities. So you had to A, tell an origin story, B, tell an Egyptian type god type mythology story, and then you had to put this in one kind of singular story of a TV show. Like, that's difficult, and I mean, with the occasional like meh CGI and some lulls in each episode, but you're gonna get that. Like, I mean, nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. But this show was so good. Like, I am really excited to watch it over again. Me too. I think we mentioned about it, with Mr. Knight fighting, the cinematography and the choreograph, of just that entire scene with, Layla and Harrow and Mark / Steven. Like, that was beautiful. Like, just them just fighting in the streets was awesome. I'm trying to think of what else. Like, I'm like replaying it in my head. What were some of your favorite parts of the episode?
Mr. Knight coming around and fighting is definitely one of them. That was sick. I like when he starts flying, when Moon Knight, or when Khonshu kind of sends him up to the moon. That was sick. We did see a lot of action in this. I can't wait though to see, because like we got the full, as Oscar Isaac said, it's a character study, right? Like, it wasn't just about Moon Knight fighting and stuff. And so the story we got, the acting, perfect. Love all that. Moving forward, I would love to see Moon Knight kind of just go unleashed, right? In the Midnight Suns or wherever he ends up in the MCU. So I'm excited. I'm extremely glad he joined. A top 5 acting performance in the MCU. Absolutely. I think you have like RDJ, Elizabeth Olsen, Oscar Isaac, maybe
Chris Evans. You could probably.
I was gonna say, yeah, Chris Evans, and whoever else you want to put in there.
Right. I think another aspect is Layla's costume, her new suit that she gets when she becomes Tawet's avatar. Like,
Taweta.
it's like, that is just her suit when she breaks out and like the stone falls and she comes over there with the wings and just her whole suit. It was just I was amazed. I was like,
I saw somebody say Layla did it better than Wonder Woman.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, you can. I feel confident saying that.
I wasn't a fan. I love the first Wonder Woman. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Second one's not that good. I'll take Layla any day.
I agree. I am interested to see her character move forward if she's going to move forward. I mean, I think she is. She's young. Think she is. So
I think the Egyptian superhero line kind of is I'm here. This is for real.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see where she turns up next. Like where's her path going now? Is she just gonna lay low and then just whenever something happens, she becomes this this superhero? And so, or does she fight along Mark and they're like a little tag team now? But we do
post credit.
We do find out that our boy Jake is here. He has always been here. And it obviously
secret deal.
It was a deal that Khonshu made under the table, per se, as Mark and Steven, I guess they had no idea. And we got that scene, we got that callback from episode 3, I believe, when they're looking for like they're running around with those little those thugs or whatever in the city, and he like blacks out, kills them, and he's like, and Steven's like, why'd you do that? And he's like, I didn't. He's like, why'd you do that? And he's like, I didn't. It opens the door like Marvel always does. It just creeps open the door a little bit to say, hey, there's something else coming, just wait. So I'm okay with it. And I thought the scene was amazing, having Harrow be in the in the like the hospital or whatever. Khonshu sitting there like a thug, just like a badass, and he knocks on the window, and I was like, oh, yep, this is where it happens.
And the idea of the ending, in case anybody was confused, he wakes up in bed, and it's a callback to that first episode, and it's supposed to make you think like nothing's real, but it's just like it has all happened, and now he's just back to his normal routine,
right?
And so he's waking up, and it's supposed to trip you out, like, oh, maybe that was all in his head actually, but it wasn't. So, yeah, I really like the post-credit scene too. I think Jake's going to be very interesting.
What would you give A, this episode, and B, the entire show?
This episode, I'm going to give an 8.
Okay.
I want to rewatch it again. I always do that though. I try not to rate stuff right off the bat. Overall though, I mean, I loved it. 1 through 5 is pretty much flawless to me, almost. I wouldn't say flawless, maybe that's not the right word, but I was just so intrigued by it the whole time. Right. Especially like episode 1 is by far the most intriguing episode 1 that Disney Plus has put out, or Marvel has put out on Disney Plus. So yeah, I'd probably go like a 9 out of 10 or so.
Yeah, I mean those
something
are
like that.
Yeah, I mean I tweeted the exact same thing. I said, I think this episode was about an 8 out of 10. They again, the length of it, some spots that had a little lull in it, but I thought
length in the finale would have made it seem less like chippy. Like it kind of just clips through events real quick. If you add maybe 10 minutes to the end, you kind of like level out, slow it down a little, right? And I gave this episode an 8 out of 10, and then I gave the entire series a 9 out of 10, and it's number 1 on my rankings. So in the MCU TV show per se. So I'll have to rewatch Loki and WandaVision. But yeah, I think Moon Knight's pretty much up there for sure.
I agree.
But let us know what you guys think about Moon Knight, the finale in general, in the comments below. Go subscribe to JT's channel, the Kang Review or East Coast Avengers. in the podcast, and drop a like on the video. Catch you on a blip. Peace.